Hello. I'm working on a little artwork today. Just got done cleaning the shop. The floor. Let's be specific here. And, oh, we're lost our subject. Okay, here we go. You can see my table still has stuff on it. I just posted 10 videos about 2 weeks ago. One of them, the first one was a short, in the short format. The other 10 were in the long format. So the first one was 16:9, the second 10 were 9:16. And, or maybe it's, I've got it backwards, 9:16 and then 16:9. So the first one, which was in the short format, it was only like a minute or two long, and it received a lot of views. And I was thrilled about that, but I realized that it was actually for entertainment. Somebody might have gotten something out of it, which I would appreciate. I'm glad that they did, or I would hope that they did. Though hope's not a strategy. But the other 10 got one view. And I realized that that short is actually being passed around as entertainment. It's not necessarily anybody doing anything with that. And so I hesitate putting shorts on there. I know they get views, but yeah, so what? And so I want my content to be something that has some kind of substance. And I thought about that for myself because I do this for myself. And is that something I would watch? Do I find myself learning from my posts? What am I gleaning and growing from in this new terrain? Because this is very new to me, even though I've been doing it for a couple of years. It's still very new, and it can be uncomfortable a little bit by nature. I think that's just by the nature of that's the nature of the beast. Anyway, I wrote, so I'll go back and delete those videos, and then I'm going to put this one up. So by the time you see this, you'll go back and go, oh, I want to see what she's talking about. But, or maybe I'll leave them. Because I'm not big on promises. I don't like to make promises like, oh, I'm going to do that, or I'm going to do this, or I'm just not. Those are promises. And so we never know. The truth is I know nothing. And I could be struck by lightning right now. It's irrelevant what the weather's doing because only the weather knows. So I might leave them up. I will see. In the interim, I wrote, put my gloves on and I need to take this out. So I wrote a few, I'm getting to this idea about the 40 laws, but there's really only one law, which is all is mental. And your life it's a complete reflection of your words. I mean, I'm telling you right now, everything you say is being projected outside of you. So whatever you have internally going on, whatever ticker tape you've got running inside your head, that is your life. So your language is governing your life. So you say is so how it is. So, yeah, I wrote this down as I was typing this the other day and looking at it. I'm doing this again because the first round I thought was dictatorial, and I don't like that. I'm not a dictator. I'm not here to change you or improve you or teach you or mentor you or guide you. I am simply the caretaker of this information. I'm like the what's the word I used? It's not caretaker because I just do not like that word because that caretaker because it has the word care in it, and care is actually control. There's no such thing as care. I wrote this down. What was I? Custodian. Yes. As we all are. We all are a custodian of our lives and of what we think and what we know and our perspectives and so on. So, yeah, I'm not a dictator, a guide, a healer. And I had originally labeled these laws, but I just thought that to be absent of agency, which means that when something is a law, you're just, oh, I can't do anything because it's the law. And like, okay, there is one law, and that's all is mental. So whatever you think is the law. So if you think the law is dictating something over you, then yeah, that's your reality. So language structures life. Every word organizes experiences or experience. For many years, I could see this in everyone but me, and I thought I was special, and that's because I could see it and I could observe it in others and I could name it. And so because of that, I was absolving myself from having to practice it. So I could do a theorizing of it, but I didn't have to do anything in the field. And since we're always living in the field and we're never in the classroom, other than when we're in our heads on the couch or whatever. So you're always in the field. Explanation isn't ownership. And literally everything changed when my words changed. And when I say that, I mean when I started applying the words to me. So instead of, I'll make up an Xavier. That's a name I use. I use it as my fake name, Puff. Puff. So Puff, I'll say Puff instead of Xavier. Puff. If I had a dog, that's what I would call it. Puff ripped up my art piece. Okay, so if I say that, then what I'm doing is I'm saying that I have no agency, that the law is that Puff ripped up my homework or my artwork. But the truth is, I left the artwork out there for Puff to get, knowing that Puff would get the artwork. So when I made these laws, I was back and forth on this. I like the idea of it, but I don't. No one wants to be under someone else's jurisdiction. And honestly, you're not under any type of, you're not under like this. I mean, if you want to be in court every day, that's fine. But the truth is, you choose to go to court. Court is not something that just happens. So, anyway, so the work exists to this work that I'm giving and that I'm doing and that I'm on this YouTube channel for. The work exists to regulate human environments by stabilizing language and perception. So when you stabilize your language, then your perception becomes clear. You can clearly see. And reinstating responsibility. So this is first and foremost, responsibility is it is the cornerstone of your existence. If you take responsibility for your entire life, you are completely free. Completely free. So this is just one of an infinite number of ways in which I changed my life. And this way is the one way that consistently recurs. It consistently evolves, consistently practices, because language is the medium. But language is really just sound, okay? And we use that to connect, to understand, to establish, to move, to navigate this thing we call a body, or we call ourselves, through this third dimension. So it does not, this work, it does not persuade. I'm not here to persuade you. And neither is the work. It's not going to heal you, and neither is the work. I'm not here to heal you either. I'm not going to improve you, neither is the work, and it's not its job. It establishes conditions under which coherence becomes unavoidable, okay? So this will become apparent to you because you will recognize this in yourself. You will see that the conditions that you are setting for yourself are those with which coherence becomes the norm. It's the norm, okay? So it operates at a level of structure, not opinion, and that's really important. So anytime you're in the situation of an opinion, you're in a situation of blame. You're in a situation of somebody else being in control and not you. And so it's important to recognize that you're not operating from this thing called a structure that you own, because you're building it every time you speak. It addresses participation before intention, okay? And responsibility without punishment. That is so crucial. Feelings are not diagnostic, and feelings are diagnostic, they're not punitive, okay? And responsibility comes without punishment. If there's a punishment within this thing called responsibility, that's not responsibility, it's blame. And so that's really important to understand, that this work addresses participation before intention. And that means that it's wanting, what it does is it point out the action that's coming as a result of the intention. And so if you can get yourself into a situation, if you can get yourself self-aware that you are having an intention behind your actions, you will notice those intentions have words. And those words are dictating your behavior, which is dictating your environment. True. Okay. It is, and this work also distinguishes regulation from interference. That's important. Anytime there's a punishment, there's interference. If you are regulating, there is no punishment. No punishment exists. There's none. So there's either regulation or there's interference. Are you interfering with yourself, or are you regulating yourself? That's two things. When you're interfering, it's normally interfering in something that's not your business. That means it's outside of you. And so there's going to be blame there. There's going to be judgment there. There's going to be a shift of authority, a shift of power, a shift of balance. If you are regulating, there'll be no punishment. There'll only be awareness and a split moment's decision to self-correct. That is super crucial. So, language governs life. My language governs my life. Your language governs your life. The quality of a life is governed by the language it tolerates. And all the language you tolerate is the language that's coming out of your mouth. It's true. I know. It's true. So, anytime you're in a situation where you're wondering, oh, gee, how did I get here? Look at what you said to bring yourself to that moment. What was the conversation prior to this moment? Boom, there's your answer. There's your answer. Today, I'm going to do some artwork and finish the, well, I don't know if I'm going to finish it. I'm going to work on it anyway. I'm going to work on the frame that is, I am burning the outsides of it to form the tree of life. So, yay! Anyway, I'm over here. Are you here with me, Gimbal? There. What an odd name. It's kind of an odd name. But it kind of reminds me of a puppet, which should be kind of straight on, actually, right? If you're a gimbal, you're a puppet, which is true because the gimbal is following my lead. I want it to go this way, so it goes this way. I want it to go that way, so it goes that way. Yeah. So now, here we are. Remember, the language governs your life, and the quality of a life is, there it is. Oh my God, can you see it? Can you see it back there? Can you see it? Oh, shoot. It's back, it's right up. It is right. It's behind that tree. It's behind that tree. It's just on the other side of, is it? Yeah, it's right on the other side of that, isn't it? Wait, which one? No, it's on the other side of that one, yeah. And it's a bald eagle. And they're mating right now, so they mate above my property every day, all the time. Actually, it seems like they're do it year round because they're always around. But so that one is right behind, it just flew in. And it's gonna start making noise here. I wish I could see it, but I don't know if that's gonna work or not. Where are you? Oh yeah, you're sitting on that tree way back there. Yeah. You won't be able to see from here. Yeah, I won't be able to give you a visual just because it's not gonna be, I mean, honestly, yeah. Cool though. Very cool. When Howard was dying, I get vultures through here and I love vultures. Oh my God, I love vultures because they just glide. They just glide. You never see they can glide. They use the wind currents to fly, to carry their body weight. And so they have this massively long wingspan. I think it's 12 feet across because it's 6 and 6. And so we were out here working and Howard was laying in his chair there. Anyway, I don't want to go into that right now. So, okay. Bye. Thanks for watching.